The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Global Market Pulse with your host, John Logan. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, John Logan.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Wednesday morning. It's going to be a busy day for me, but it's pretty eventless on the fundamental news scene. I was trying to find some kind of fundamental news that was shocking. And there's just nothing out there. So the global markets and the S&Ps are, just kind of flat, maybe a little bit lower. Not a lot of things to key off of or to freak traders out on a desk to start having to adjust positions or run retail traders stops. So there's, I'm going to go over where we're at with the S&Ps. We kind of hit yesterday with the S&Ps some range targets that I had talked about earlier, and a lot of times that doesn't happen to the tick, but literally yesterday it happened to the tick. We were talking about 2040, 2045, and 2063. So I'll just point that out to you. There's the 2063, and there's the actually 2041 was after the market. The 2045. Just to pat myself on the back. I'm just kidding. Trading's about probabilities. We just try to give some measures. We talked about maybe being a little non-directional in the DMZ yesterday. We're kind of still in there. That DMZ being that weekly unfair high and that daily unfair low. Now, interesting thing yesterday, and I was working with the programmers on this as an exception rule because we have released the scanner, the version that I used in the webinar. Talked about doing it Monday. We finally got it out yesterday, Tuesday. You guys should have gotten an email. And if you didn't get an email with the latest links, because you can't just upgrade this one. This one's kind of a wholesale change. You got to go to a whole new download and install it. And we can prompt you for upgrades on the scanner in the future like we have been doing. But this one's kind of a new deal. Check your spam folder. And just make sure it didn't go in there. And if you don't have the links, just by all means, send me an email. TFNN gets enough mail. I'll take the brunt of this one, but feel free to email them also. But it's got the new features we talked about. But one of the things, in the custom filters, we don't want to, leave no child behind or whatever. So, there's a very, very rare occurrence when we have a new box attempting to appear, and I'm showing this on the screen right now, a new profile attempting to appear. A new profile attempting to appear while we're also touching a top or a bottom of a profile that's currently in force. That exception we made a last-minute rule to when we caught it. It just happens like once in a galaxy's lifetime. But as you can see, new profile appeared. Now we've got that 2045 and 2028 as kind of a support area down below, being that weekly unfair high and the daily unfair low. So, how do you know it's going to ever touch those areas? We don't. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, maybe getting some leverage with some direction here. But that really is a unique situation as we've put in some of these filters that might have not caught things like that. So if you go to the new scanner, this is really, really, in my opinion, really, really cool that you've got these custom sorts in there, along with some other things we put in here for ease of use. So we put in like a color scheme. You can kind of do your own sorts to some degree. When you come into weekly sort, above, below, daily, and these would kind of be your own little turnaround situations from long-term strength to then we're catching this first bar red. We'll talk about this. And please, you guys call in ask questions about this. I think this is, something that if you call in and ask questions, everybody can get some use out of. Sorry, I seem to get it in the wrong box. Okay, here we go. Okay. We'll talk about the retail stores before Christmas. I'm never high on retail stores, by the way, Bob. This online thing has just destroyed the brick and mortar. I mean, I get coupons all the time, like you do, to go in there and basically rip the brick and mortar store off just so they can get rid of inventory to collect some cash for the month. I mean, login details for the scanner. To answer that question, Jim, there should be kind of a user password forget thing right on the scanner as you try to log in. Is that not on there? Either way. Okay. All right. So we'll answer some questions a little bit later. But as we look at these, what we've done in the custom sorts, and I'm going to pull up a little bit of a filter grid here. Let me do that. So a lot of these sorts, and I'm showing them on here, and we had a lot of adjustments. I got them in different colors. So for instance, when we look at, we're looking at previous bar counts. We're looking at, gray previous bars, red previous bars, not equal to, things like that. And these are filters that you actually cannot do on your own within these, kind of a little bit more easier to just kind of click on and use sorting that you got in the upper left corner now. And it's early, and I've only had a half a cup of coffee, so I apologize. So when you go into these custom sorts, so when we're looking at downtrend resistance, and this was kind of a neat little indicator for me yesterday. And when I say indicator, there was a lot of stocks that were on downtrend resistance relative, and I'm talking about the number of stocks with this particular algorithm relative to uptrend support. And where's that one? There it is. Uptrend support. So the basket was really, half on uptrend support as it was for downtrend resistance. So I'm going to go back to downtrend resistance. And what this does is it looks at situations on a long to intermediate term. Now, the short-term guys, these are definitely appropriate, and they're definitely kind of putting some wins on the board as far as setups go on the long term, so you can kind of know where those long-term situations are. If you'll notice, there's gray cells with arrows in them. That is a continuation of the most recent trend. All right. So downtrend resistance, we want any types of trends to be in the that are sitting in the balanced area of the current long-term weekly profile to be down. Okay. And we're going to get these 60-minute arrows in today. This is a lot of number crunching to do it on a 60-minute basis, so they're going to be in later today. That's the only profile we don't have them in at this stage. But as you look at these, so if I want to look at, let's just pick one out. Humana, HUM, okay? It says bottom two, and this is uptrend daily. So this trumps, the weeklies trump the daily. So let's just look at Humana. And what this is going to do is it's going to find opportunities. This one's, new profile coming back, close below, coming back up into the bottom of that box, 170.61. These levels on the scanner, and it kind of ignores. I mean, this has definitely been in a downtrend, but it kind of ignores. And the recent pop above was the break of this profile. It kind of ignores this and uses the weekly as kind of a trump card. So it's going to find, downtrend resistance more on the longer term and then scale down into the intermediate term. Let me pick another one. That one wasn't as glaringly cohesive from the weekly and daily, but still meets the qualifications. How about EMC Corp? Just blindly picking these out so you guys can kind of see how this works on downtrend reversal or downtrend resistance. if my e-signal will. Okay, so the deal is with this one, this particular algorithm. I'll look at Qualcomm, Russ. I did not see that. And Peak D, you're talking about shopping centers becoming apartment buildings. You know what they've done with the local mall in this area? It's virtually useless when it comes to stores actually paying to be there. So they are turning it into city, government, whatever hubs. It's an entire mall. So EMC. Now, when we have something, again, the algorithm is basically saying if previous bar on downtrend resistance, previous bar is hovering right there. We always talk about if we're spinning around on inflection points and we don't want to get away from them. This is saying on the long term, this is not good. It's not wanting to bounce. Previous bar was sitting right on the close. This is a custom sort, and we're just kind of still hovering around the bottom. And we've been in a somewhat downtrend here. And we're below profiles here on EMC on 2556. So this is telling you that we're having a downtrend resistance opportunity, okay? And this is a stock that's not exactly wanting to or looking like it wants to bounce. Again, we've got situations where we're kind of rallying into these type of. Let's look at CF, or let's look at Qualcomm like you wanted to look at. So instead of having to search and find these opportunities, and we're going to talk about reading the numbers and looking for opportunities with the colors and numbers of sorts you can do on your own. This is another one. Qualcomm just kind of sitting right at the bottom here, closing below, going back and sitting at that bottom area on the weekly. And again, kind of trumping this situation, whatever it is. So these sorts are primarily based on, there's some 240 information in them, but these sorts are primarily based on weekly and daily setups here. And I'm just going to stay on this particular sort. And let's take a look at CF, because this is showing at the top here. Let's just go to CF. Okay, Jim, that's cool. You found your username and password. Great. Okay, so what this is kind of a dual time frame situation. We've rallied back up into the bottom of our profile, 49.91 on the weekly. And the reason that this bar is green and we're still saying that this is still possibly a good downtrend reversal because of everything that's happened, turning the rents the same way. Even though we're green here, what the real clarifier is top. This is still considered a noise opportunity on the top of that profile. And all things considered, weekly and daily, this may still continue to stay in a downtrend. And it's in front of you right now. Let's come right back and continue to keep following through some of this custom sort.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. John takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi, guys. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, Peak D. So I'll just continue to call you Peak D. There's different conditions. I mean, there's always ands and there's always ors when you're looking at just doing simple programming. This is not brain surgery. There's a lot going on behind to have these procedures in place to even put these together. But it's looking for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different conditions that might be available. So your mother and father decided that Peak D was okay. So one of them, we've kind of been looking at stocks on this downtrend resistance that have kind of come back up in resistance. But let's look at one that's really, really rallied. That's on the condition list, AMAT. This is kind of one that I'm looking at, licking my lips a little bit here. These are ones that have really retraced back up, still in a long-term downtrend that have come right back up into this. And it's going to make sure that it's coming up into these inflection points instead of crossing below. If we're crossing below, then we're going to have that stock categorized in another sort. I'm thinking about changing my name to my last name to Scanner, Johnny Scanner. No, not good. So as we look at the daily, you might say, well, God, we're breaking out on the daily. And you know what? We have broken out on the daily. But remember, we're coming up into another whole new level of overhanging resistance that really is the long-term defined downtrend. So that's why this is popping up on the screen. And if you kind of look at this grid, like you're kind of like looking at the matrix, like just reading the numbers and the colors or whatever, you can find those opportunities. You can find green cells. There's another one. Okay, Northern Trust Company. This is one where, we've had 11 bars on the uptrend, and but we're just basically coming up into the bottom of a weekly unfair low, right? This is another one. This is pretty cool. Quantus Services, PWR. So, if you want certain setups within those filters, you're going to be able to find those kind of maximum Custer's last stance type things on the top of a weekly, which is what we looked at on AMAT. And these things are such huge time savers, and they can just put these darts right on the board so you can see them really, really quick. I mean, this is all about saving time and trying to find the setups that you like to take advantage of. Now, let's just take a look at uptrend support. And this was interesting to me yesterday because we were finding all these downtrend resistance areas, in there, and there weren't that many uptrend support areas. So I was looking at the market going, at best, this thing's going to go sideways based on that sort alone. And also looking at our just completely wacky mixed up breadth charts that were just, it was like, 2 out of 4 were positive, 2 out of 4 were negative the whole day pretty much. But let's go back to the uptrend support. And you can find these things that are sitting on kind of Custer's last stance here, Ecolab, ECL. Let's take a look at this one. And these are the ones where they're kind of just, they gotta bounce here or they ain't gonna bounce. So I'm looking at ECL, and what that's telling me is, and I'll show you ECL. ECL. This is so ultra cool. Been in an uptrend, pulled back into this area. You got the, real quickly and easily. Those are your inflection points, 116.19, sitting right there. You know where to put the stops. Give yourself a little noise play. But this particular stock, even though we've got a red situation here, and we kind of rattled around, if we can get back above that 117.95, it's going to be clear sailing for a while. Stock hasn't suffered a lot lately either. So again, the weekly always is going to take precedence over the daily. But in some of these sorts, we have, and I'll just take, we've combined the weekly and the daily, and we're going to show you strong trend up. These are just, the horses of the pack, and these strong trend down. These are and see, this is interesting too. I mean, you got a lot more stocks, double, maybe triple, that are in strong trend down than strong trend up by definition there. So let's just take a look at downtrend. I hear the music. We're going to come right back. I just want you guys to really understand what's available here and how to read it, and what these numbers and these arrows mean for you to, again, save some time in these custom sorts. We'll be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. I was showing Jim. He's ignored me now and not answering my chats in the scanner. Silent treatment. It's always a good technique. Read a lot of books on that, Jim. But I was typing in IBM. All you have to do to really, find anything in the scanner is just type in. There's Procter & Gamble. Just type them in. These are the S&P 500 stocks. You can type in any stock globally in the world that is on our list. I think there's over 3,500 stocks now. And you may be saying, well, this is cool while I'm thinking about this. Breakdowns, breakouts, downtrend. These are all specific to S&P 500 stocks. You're going to get an upgrade next couple of days. This is an easy addition. We wanted to get the U.S. under control first. But as you go back to the home screen, you'll be able to choose the exchanges you want to have in your custom filters. So, again, if you're, Interactive Brokers account or whatever you got, that you can go in there and slam some weak stocks or stocks retracing or whatever on the Hang Seng or the Bovespa or whatever, you'll be able to put those in your filters, which is really cool. I mean, this thing has far-reaching implications when it comes to expanding your trading world. And we are putting the Tom O'Brien bear filter in. I'm just making sure Tom's listening right now. Mr. Bill, John, can I look at a daily and project which scan it would belong to? Can I look at it daily and project? I might understand the scans better. I don't understand that question. And Jim, you type it in right. There's a little pull-out box right here. Type in your instrument. you'll get the picture if you use it. It's right there if you got the upgrade. Oh, it was actually in the last version too. But let's go back to, as I typed in IBM, one of the things, let me just type that in again, IBM. And this is how you'd create, your custom lists, edit lists. Let's see here, add a list. Oh, by the way, that says maximum 10 symbols. That's supposed to be maximum 10 characters for your custom list name. You can put as many symbols in a custom list as you want, and you've got access to add all the symbols that we have in that custom list. So just type them in, they'll populate here. So if I type in IBM, boom, it's going to create this. And then you can switch these around, by the way, just like, you can reorder them. I think I need 3 in there to do that. Let's put in Coca-Cola. It's in here somewhere. There we go. So if I want to reorder these, I can move them around like that, and just a little thing. But IBM, what I want to do is I wanted to focus on this 85 here and this arrow down. All right. So what this is doing is telling you that, okay, we're within profiles. We had a new profile in act yesterday on this stock, and the day before that it was a yellow peel back on the red cell. Which means that we're having a new profile attempt to appear. It may be a profit-taking opportunity on the short side. But even though we're within gray profiles now, which means that we're within the balanced area, it's saying that, you know what, trend has been down. There's the arrow relative to profiles, and it's been in force 85 days. All right, so you can get an idea when you're looking through these custom sorts or doing your own sorts, which ones are really, really, even though they're within the balanced area, which ones have just continued to been in the cycle, which I'll kind of point this out here. There's IBM. And since we have been in this defined downtrend starting here, because we did, kind of break the madness, and that was, I hated that when it happened. I remember when it happened. It went up to like 175, approximately 174. We started this downtrend. This is 85 straight days, and we are still in this defined downtrend relative to profiles. So gives you a little bit more information. Maybe that'll cut down some time too. Jim, I do not have the search box on my system. Found it. Have to hit on dashboard first. Yes, from home. Dashboard is going to be, by the way you kind of get down to the heart of the matter, not to quote Don Henley, but this is where you're going to kind of do the work, dashboard. And you can, as you kind of go into the dashboard, we've got S&P 500 set at default. You can actually add all the exchanges in the world, currencies, futures, whatever. So you can kind of use that as your filtering system and how you search for instruments or whatever, and do your manual sorts. When I say manual sorts, I'll just come in here and I'll say, I want to see stocks that just kind of were strong stocks on my weekly and daily, but then started showing there's none. So I was looking for stocks that were weekly and daily above profiles, and then started breaking down on the 240s. I'm going to clear this sort. There's just none meeting that criteria, which is really wild. But I want to find, let's just say, stocks that were trading in a range on both of those time frames and then started trading below profiles. And I love these just quick color coded. Takes a while to get used to it. I have been classified as retarded before in my life, and even this is relatively easy for somebody who's been classified as that. So here's the stocks meeting that criteria, but after you do it, you can kind of see, okay, we've been in an uptrend on Flow Reserve Corp for 7 weeks and 11 days on the daily, and we're just starting to show, possibility of breakdowns here. So you can look into these stocks and see how they're acting. You've got all the, and just kind of get the feel for this. You've got, unfair highs, unfair lows, and POCs. Remember, on wide profiles. And by the way, I remember somebody asking, you're going to have to pay attention to POCs on wide profiles, but I remember somebody asking yesterday or the day before, can we search for wide profiles? You know what? If you don't ask questions, you'll never get an answer. And I think that's true 100% of the time. Maybe not, but as you know, as you ask for things, we're going to go, hey, wow, we should put that in. So that may be a custom sort we can put in very easily. And the way we do that is we just search for, we've got access to prior historical information in our database. So for instance, if the last 5 profiles had an average height or width of a certain amount, and then we've got a current profile that's X% larger than that average, we can quantify that, give it to you in a custom sort, and then therefore you can have, hey, here's a sort that gives me wide profiles. And then you're talking about stocks that when they reach these extremes of the outside of the envelope, you've got some really, really serious trading opportunities then, because those are generally not breached percentage-wise. And our automated systems basically pass on those for breakout opportunities. So we're not looking to buy breakouts out of wide profiles. We're looking to trade ranges inside wide profiles. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's probability-wise, historically, one narrow profile is within the last profile. Mr. Bill, I'm assuming you're talking about inside profiles relative to the last profile. Is that another way to coin that? That's a really good setup for a breakout, by the way. Yes. You know what? Send an email in on these type of sorts, and we will put them in as available. These are real easy for us to do. I didn't want to put so many in at the beginning that it was, just a blitzkrieg of, so much new information. Okay, question, look at daily project. Okay, let me just read some of the questions here. Yes, CJ, the update went out, emails went out, and it might be in your spam folder. Air profiles in left. Okay, just trying to catch up the questions here. Okay, yeah, the ETF. If you guys want some extra ETFs that are not in, we've definitely got the, the usual suspects of the ETF world, the Spider Main 9, I guess, if you want to call them that way. We have put in IBB and some other things in the, the kind of the other category that you can access from within here. So I'll go to the dashboard, and there's IBB. But right now we're not going to probably create a breadth as we've done on these ETFs for more ETFs right now. So these are the ones that we're going to stick with on the breadth calculations. So, by the way, when I look at these short-term situations, I'm pulling up my 60-minute, I'm pulling up my 4-hour. The utilities, again, this was the ETF that's just kind of having some issues, if you will. You can drill down into it, and you can quickly do some sorts, custom sorts that you want to do, or not custom sorts, manual sorts. Find opportunities. You can see really quickly some possible setups that you want to see just by looking at the color grid. But again, if we go back into, and I've put all my custom sorts on the left here that I can access them really quick. If I want to see uptrend reversals, I go here, and these are ones by the code that we're using in the algorithm. This is just one of the algorithms, and not to get too deep into this, uptrend reversals. Uptrend reversals. These are candidates that actually started showing, as you see these trends, like Campbell's Soup Company, been in an uptrend forever, started showing a hint of breaking down here. All right, so these are situations that we want to pay attention to when we're looking for uptrend reversals, and kind of look at the chart, see how the scanner's gauging these particular things. More questions here. SOXX. Well, what you guys should do, because I'm going to have to put these into the programmer hopper, is just to email me or just email me and we'll try to get some of those things in that you guys want to see. All right, enough about the scanner for a little bit. Let's just kind of cruise down the world here. It's not a lot going on. Shanghai, nothing, outstanding there. S&Ps, I think we need to talk about the S&Ps and try to give some kind of barometer of what might happen today. We're still not really out of the noise area of the unfair highs on the weekly. The breadth is just all over the place, mixed up. Not a lot of direction. We talked about that yesterday. We talked about the 2045 and the 2063 yesterday. That was the range yesterday. That rarely happens that what I say comes completely true, but that actually happened yesterday. So why was that the case? Because we had that DMZ between the 2045 and the 2063, daily unfair lows, weekly unfair highs, and there was zero direction from the breadth. It was all over the place, mixed up, and we just said, you know what? Yeah, this is a range day, and breakdowns or breakouts, the only way to trade those from a trend standpoint is to get clean and clear of the 45s on the bottom or the 63s on the top. Now, here's the 240s. Short-term numbers, guess what? You got a 63 up top there, which is that daily former big number. But I want to show you something. As evidenced by that yellow bar yesterday, that was a forewarning of a new profile attempting to appear. Now on the bottom, you've got support at 45 without question, and you still got a little bit of a noise area down into 28 now. So if we break 45, next stop down is going to be 28, and you've got to be looking at 45 as maybe an area to put stops above if you're looking to short this. I see zero directional components right now. I'd love to see this thing spin around in this area, and then maybe for a couple of days, herky jerk around, and then if the market breaks up and the breadth coincides, we're definitely looking at trying to trade this from the long side, and then breaks down after this consolidation. I'm going to feel really good about shorting this, especially if the breadth is on my side. Now, if we break up and the breadth stays relatively negative on the long term in the daily, that's not going to be good, and that's not a breakout to be bought, in my opinion, for instance. Okay. Couple other instruments, got about 30 seconds for the next break here. Treasuries, these things continue to stabilize down here, I guess. And, when we broke above this balanced area, we've kind of been rattling around. The long-term trend on this, without question, has broken down and closed below and had a couple of closes there. But, what do you do now? That 27.13, and 27.11, is very close to that 27.19 up there. We could now, that would be your targets on the long side if you're going to try to nibble on this and do a trade against the long-term or contra trade against the trend down. We're going to be right back, folks. We're going to finish up about the 10-year and hopefully gives a little bit more poignant information on it.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Larry Pesavento, a 40-year veteran trader. He uses pattern recognition, Gartleys, butterflies, ABCs, and Fibonacci in order to trade these markets. Trade what you see. Next on TFNN.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. We're finishing up with the 10-year. I was just wanting to get the gold, so I had that up. But let me go back to the 10-year really quick. Trading against a long-term trend down. That's kind of been redefined here. It's a little weird that this thing's not going lower, to be honest with you, with all the numbers that we've had out, and that to me might spell that we could make a run back up at least to that 11 to 127 to 11 to 127.19 area. You've got something really cool here to kind of orient stops around now that you're kind of back in the balanced area. And this is a little bit of a noise factor here. I'm going to go back to my scanner here and go back into futures. Am I in futures now? Wow, that was so quick. I didn't even see it change. Actually, it is really quick. And it's showing pre-market activity now. It always has done that on the futures, but on the stocks, which is very, very cool. So you're seeing bottom there, kind of slightly below that profile, but still within the 10% noise, which is of that inflection point, which is how we've got it set. Put a gun to my head right now. I just don't feel extremely comfortable going short. There might be a little bit of a contra trade north situation here on a short term, but when we get back into that DMZ 11 to 19, it might be a chance to look at this product from the short side again. Let's look at gold. This is something we've kind of been saying stay away from on the long side, and 1086, 1087 was that big number, and when we see this is our weekly. When we see this thing spinning around and not wanting to get away from these inflection points, that prophecy has somehow come, true again. And again, this was just, man, just ugly setup. You want to see prices get away from these inflection points and stay away. You don't want to see that kind of classic technical analysis consolidation pattern, flag, pin it, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, and then boom. And that's kind of what's happened here. So I hope you guys have stayed away from the long side, buying that inflection point at 86. And what do you do now? Don't see any reasons to take the short trade off, really. And don't see a lot of reasons to buy. I mean, this is another case. 240 unfair lows, not wanting to get away from this thing, even though in the scanner, when I pull this up and I go to gold, it says bottom. There's that arrow down 5, last 5, 240. I mean, this is the overhanging moniker here. Red weekly, red daily, no new profiles attempting to appear like the Cocoa situation up here. But gold, no green shoots. Talked about that yesterday on the S&Ps. You want to at least start seeing some breaking of profiles on the weekly, on the 60-minute here. We're going to put our arrows in today on the 60-minute, but let's just go to the 60-minute. Let's take a look at gold. See that? Just really not showing any reasons to get excited about going long gold right now. All right, so let's look at the NTC. Okay. Let's take a look at Intel really quick. We got about 30 seconds left. Somebody mentioned Intel. Let's do a quick read here. Okay, this is interesting, and I'll show you how this works. All right, this is our weekly. Not a lot of direction there. Still considered long-term breadth positive. This is weird because what's happened here is we had a very thin profile up here, and I know this because I wrote the code. It's actually eclipsed the entire fair auction on the upside. So what we've had here is a little bit of a breakout on the intermediate, and I can cover this tomorrow. We don't have any time left today. Stay tuned for Larry. If you never listen to him, you will thoroughly enjoy that guy. And the rest of the hosts on TFNN, they're stacked deep. Stay tuned.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.